Hello and welcome back to Unofficially Opinionated. We are your hosts. I'm Nate, and this is Tim.
Hey,
What's up? I say what's up like, that, I think it was like a commercial or something way back in the day when everybody was just like, what's up, sort of thing. I don't know.
Budweiser commercials.
Was it Budweiser?
Yeah, what is
Oh,
yeah.
oh, yeah. That dates me so bad. Anyways, this is a business corner. We haven't done a business corner in quite a long time. So our business corner for our new listeners is where we discuss situations in business. Just in general business. It can be anything from let's see, user suggestions where they're like telling something that happened at their work that was just absolutely ridiculous, or something that was absolutely great, which I love to hear, but it's rare.
Right.
But and see, kind of put out advice or suggestions, perhaps not necessarily advice, but just suggestions on what we think can be done to make it better, or try to understand the situation, or whatever. It's still an unofficial opinion, but my area of expertise is in business, so I have a little bit more, I guess, understanding, I suppose, in that field, So, but I am not an expert. That's just where my level of expertise is. So, and I plan on doing a PhD in business as well, eventually, in time. So, anyways, today we are going to be talking about labor shortages in America. I think it's pretty much Western worldwide, but mostly in America. Is where we're going to be talking about. I think most of our customers are either in America or probably like in Anglophone countries, I'm assuming, since we're speaking in English. So, Tim, we have labor shortages. So I'm referring to this website called Deco USA, and France also has a Deco, and the situation is pretty similar, but not exactly right. So in America, apparently there is a shortage of laborers. There's this website. This article says that there is a record 1.9 jobs available for every unemployed worker.
Hmm.
1.9 jobs available. And then the question is, so the website says labor shortages and safety nets. Why are people not working? So that is my question to you. Why is there a labor shortage, Tim? What do you think? Why do you think people are not working?
If anything, I'm wondering like what type of jobs they're specifically talking about because like um if anything because you have like big companies like Apple or Amazon who just a couple months ago just recently let go like thousands of workers
But
each
they do that all the time. Amazon,
and
it's hard to
Facebook,
compare
but no,
with
all
Amazon.
three.
Which one?
No,
So you say
Facebook,
Amazon, Facebook?
Amazon, Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
Apple, they all release like they all the big four, they all release like thousands of workers,
Yeah. Okay.
you know. So
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna get a lot of people unemployed, you know,
Yeah.
um, with that. And I know some of those people.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, are you surprised though? Because those people, they be doing stuff. They be doing stuff. But this
I
is
mean,
this is in comparison. I mean, those companies, like, so for example, Facebook was already laying off a bunch of people. Like, so this
yeah.
article was referring to like COVID and the pandemic and all this other stuff, right? But Facebook was laying off. I mean, getting rid of people
Oh,
before that.
so
So,
if we're talking about with COVID and stuff,
and that
then
just exacerbated the situation,
yeah,
right?
then that's probably because so we have a lot of people. I watched the video back. and there was the news. They was talking about this. So you have a lot of people who's working from home right now.
Mm-hmm.
Still currently to this day,
Mm-hmm.
and the cities where there's nobody there. So you have all these like restaurants and small businesses that was supported by these bigger companies when everybody go to lunch or whatever, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Those a lot of those employees there's no work because these businesses are trying to figure out how to stay alive in the cities where there's nobody at.
Okay.
So that's one thing I watched. You got you know you have they was in this video they was interviewing like these shop owners and restaurant owners and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
they're saying at lunchtime we would have you know like all these people come in for lunch all throughout the day, and
Mm-hmm.
now it's like we get like maybe 20 people, 25 people or whatever. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
a day or whatnot. It's
Yeah.
nowhere near.
So
So you got all these big. Go ahead.
you're saying that they had a lot less patronage, right? So a lot less
Yes,
people coming to their, but that would mean that these companies could stop or get rid of positions. But this
that's what I'm
article is
saying.
saying,
Oh,
yeah, but this article is saying there are too many positions and not
oh,
enough workers.
oh.
Right. So, but that is an interesting point as well because, yeah, you could be in a situation where you're just no longer a in the ideal market, and so you might have to
hmm
relocate or close down or modify or something like that. But uh, like in France, the situation has become like all these companies are complaining, and they're like, a lot of them are complaining because they don't want their employees working from home, and a lot of employees are saying, no, we require work from home.
hmm
They're citing reasons for like because of like COVID and stuff like that.
hmm
But to be honest, I just think it just makes more sense for people to work from home. It costs less for
I mean, if
businesses.
you can,
If you
right?
can,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. It costs
yeah.
less for businesses for the employee. I mean, already
They
the
don't have to
employers are being underpaid, so like, why also make them pay for
travel.
transportation? Yeah, exactly. Like, just
Yeah.
but business people, these are businesses are run by or willfully non-understanding humans. They really want it, but
Well,
also,
no, they
mm,
understand. They understand the stuff that they're concerned about.
right, yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. Well, okay, so this website says that one of the reasons why there is a labor shortage. Well, so first it says the labor force participation in April 2020 rate dropped sharply from 63.3% to 60.1%, the lowest rate recorded since October 1971. And then it explains that one of the reasons why there's a shortage is because baby boomers retired early in 2020, and then also working parents left for more flexibility, right?
hmm
So that's understandable. Childcare issues, whatever the
hmm
situation is. And then also there's like this apparently in the US, which I'm not very aware of. So you can, put your 2 cents in if you know anything about that. There's a lot of government benefits apparently. So the thing
There
says
were.
why, the article says, why work to get paid when you can get paid not to work, right? So that's kind of the idea. And they're
So
saying, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So with that, it was so there was benefits that was put out
Mm-hmm.
during COVID and stuff. So people that was on unemployment, because a lot of workplaces were closed due to COVID, and
Mm-hmm.
so there was a lot of big benefits that was put out. But I don't. That stuff's not current now. There's
Yeah.
not a lot of people still working. I mean, still living off of those because those benefits were. I think they was turned off like 2022.
Yeah, so I think this article, it doesn't state when this article was written, but I'm assuming, oh yeah, it does. It says it was written in, well, it says it was written in February 10th, 2023. So it's pretty
Hmm.
recent. Well,
Yeah, I mean, maybe they're talking about, they those people saved money, which I don't, I see that hard to do. Even if the government is paying you money, you still have to eat and
well,
pay mortgage and rent and stuff.
Americans are very good at saving money. In fact, they're so good at saving money, just generally, I think, that this is one of the reasons why back in the day, a few years ago, the government was giving like subsidies out and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I'm hoping that the American public would put that back into the economy, sort of thing, or
Hmm.
to start buying stuff or whatever, because Americans weren't buying stuff, they weren't going on vacation, and stuff like that. It's just kind of the culture that we grew up with, and they were like, "Oh, this is causing an issue with the economy, the whole buy and sell economy, right?" So I think Americans, just in general, especially since there's just so many um, lower class, lower class, is that lower class, middle class,
Middle class.
middle, uh, like working class. So what's under working class? Like there's the working class, and then I don't know if it's considered lower class now. I can't remember what the term is. Maybe it is lower class,
Yeah, I
but
can't remember the term, but yeah, I wouldn't say lower class.
yeah, I would. I didn't. What I'm not saying. I'm not saying that they're lower than the other
No, I know.
classes. What I'm saying is that they're making less than the um,
The national average.
yeah, just there's the average I think has shifted, and that's the one of the issues. Is what I was reading this, but I was reading this a year ago, I think, or two, so it's
Hmm.
kind of foggy. So our listeners, you can feel free to correct me and send in your any of your updates. But what they were saying was that the kind of working class, which used to be the average, had shifted, and so there's less of a working class in I mean, there's less. It's not the. I guess maybe it is considered the working class or whatever, but there's less of these people that are. Yeah, they're working, but they're able to kind of be monetarily comfortable. Where
So like
instead of
kind of
like
like
working paycheck to paycheck is what I'm saying, they can
uh
do have savings and stuff like that. So there's far more now apparently people who are being forced to kind of work from paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that. And that's kind of how um, America has thrived because they can, or businesses, because not America, but businesses have thrived because they can pay their employees less and kind of get more out of them, because these people are
yeah,
trying to make life. This
survive.
is what the article also indicates is like, what can employers do about this labor shortages, about this labor shortage, sorry. Um, and basically, they're saying employers need to look at what they're offering their workers, and that is one of the biggest things in my opinion. Employers need to realize. I mean, I think employers are really just in general they're very selfish. Granted, you have to look out for the company. So you have to be a little bit selfish. Like you have to look
Hmm.
out for the company. You have to look out for the projects that you want to endeavor on with this company, because a
Hmm.
stagnant company means it's not growing,
Yeah,
which probably means it's going to die, right? So you do want to
yeah,
keep looking at looking out for new projects and stuff like that. But beyond that, the outrageous wages that you're giving your CEOs and stuff like that needs to stop, so that you can pay the people who are actually making this business happen, so that they will be enticed to kind of stay there and keep working, like, and the
yeah.
people so when I was doing my MBA, we had this research, um, and I don't remember the research because that is just how my mind works. So, but I remember what it, what the what it was. Sorry, I don't remember the exact data of the research, but I remember what it was saying. And basically, it was saying uh, employees or humans, just in general, up to a certain amount, there's a point of diminishing returns, right?
Hmm.
So up to a certain on wages. So up to a certain amount, they want employees, sorry, want to earn a certain amount in comparison to kind of the cost of living and stuff like that. And then for every like dollar or $10 above that is diminishing returns, right?
Hmm.
So once you hit that, employers should be looking at less about, they don't have to concern themselves so much about pay, right? Or rather than but sorry, they don't have to concern themselves so much about pay, but they do need to concern themselves more about like benefits and other stuff that will keep the employees in this situation of um, they feel appreciated. They feel satisfied at work. They feel like the company listens to them. And I will attest that one of the best things that a business can do to retain employees is to make them know that they are heard. You know, like that is the one thing, because humans are still humans at the end of the day. Money comes and goes and stuff like that, but humans are still humans. And if you continue to kind of invalidate humans, they're going to do less, and they're going to perform less and less optimally. You know, so one of the major things, and it's just very simple to do, but the employers do not want to do it, but it's very simple. Just let make your employees know that they have been heard. So, anyways, you want to keep them in this state of satisfaction and getting paid well and stuff like that, and they will continue to perform. And employees generally, if they don't feel kind of this negative situation at work, they will generally perform above and beyond what is actually asked of them, which will help your company thrive. And that is, so the idea is that's also the concept of diminishing returns, but in reverse. Whereas you put 1 point of kind of satisfaction, I should say, maybe you put 1 point into into satisfaction, and you get an exponential result, up into
Hmm.
a certain point, So for every point, you might be getting three or four, um, what do you call that? 3 or 4 levels of efficiency or something like that.
Oh,
And
okay.
so it's not 1 to 1, right? So it's like one to
Right.
three or 1 to 5 or something like that, up until a certain point. And when it gets to, 1 to 1, and then it starts going downhill, right? So, like, yeah, this is, I kind of almost lost my train of thought. But the point is, like, these are the things that companies can do to kind of, pay your employees well,
Hmm.
um, and then let them know that they are appreciated, and give them the benefits that they need, like dental and the eye doctor and stuff like that. And then you will see your company grow. But like in America as well as in France, one of the industries that are suffering the most is the um, restoration industry, like restaurants and stuff like that.
Oh, I I was thinking restoration, like like restoration of old cars
Oh,
for some reason. I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, no,
it's
no,
very
not old
niche.
cars, but rest,
But yeah, like
yeah,
restaurants and stuff.
exactly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you
Yeah.
have an idea why that is? I mean, I think it's worse in America than it is in France, but it's still here in France as well.
Well, and like I said, the only thing I can think of is that that news video I was watching when they were saying that a lot of restaurants and a lot of people are not working in restaurants and or hotels and stuff because a lot of those restaurants are like in the downtown areas and there's nobody there to work. and there's not a lot of people going. Like, there's not a lot of company business trips because they say that people are doing a lot of video calls and stuff instead of flying.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
um, and so that basically was talking about. They were saying that the things that America has changed to because of COVID,
Hmm.
it's kind of stifling other like smaller companies or hotels, because you have hotels. A lot of people go to hotels, right? But the majority of hotel business was company travel, and uh,
They're
yeah,
going
it
to
was
need
a
to
lot.
adjust.
Yeah, and that's the saying. So you have a lot of people. Hotels are trimming down their employees, and hotels are, and not hotels, but and restaurants are not. They want to hire other people, but they just physically can't.
That
Because they
might
don't
be
have
in
enough.
some areas. That might be the case, yeah. But I don't think, by and large, I don't think that that is the situation. By and large, I think
Yeah, I mean, it's
it's
probably what. Yeah,
yeah,
but sorry, that's the only thing my mind right now is going
right.
to. I'm only one cup of coffee in today, so
No, I think yeah, I do think that because people are probably moving less, and people move far less
hmm
in America than they do in other countries, especially in Europe, uh,
hmm
because Europe is full of small countries, whereas the U.S. is, Mexico and Canada as well, and that's it. There's a lot. There was this, but this was a few years ago. I don't know if it's been changed, but there was this report that I read about the number of the abysmal number of Americans who do not have a passport. That like
you
most of my family does
don't
not
need
have a
one.
passport. Yeah, exactly.
We
They
don't.
don't need one. Like I mean, they should, because I feel like getting out of the
Yes.
U.S. will teach you like the U.S. isn't the only thing that
Yeah.
exists. And I think that would cut down on quite a lot of arguing in the U.S. If like all of their the nationals like travel to other countries and stuff like that, but they're just so afraid to leave the U.S. and the comforts of the U.S. and stuff like that that they just whatever. But anyways, that's a conversation for another day. But
Yes, it is.
anyways, yeah. So the I really kind of want to push this home because employers do have to start treating their employees correctly. Otherwise, this is situation can get worse. Also, because we're facing a time of like inflation, they have to start improving their wages and the benefits of that the company offers, because otherwise they just can't live. And now with the whole, um, like boom of the internet, like the internet was existing, but now like it has become basically everything.
Yes.
With the
The
boom of
the
the
IoT.
yeah, exactly. With the boom of the internet and stuff like that, like people are discovering more and more ways to just um, make money like online. Like there is an innumerable amount of like OnlyFans page or like just for fans page or whatever. Like people are just like, okay, I'm just gonna make money, having sex or whatever. I mean, these pages were meant for also for other content. It was made for any type
But
of
that,
personal
yeah.
made
But then it
content.
turned into.
It did, like kind of like Tumblr, but I don't hate it for it, because before that they weren't making that company. Those companies weren't making that much money. Like sex has always been,
hmm
which is a topic I really want to talk about. Sex has always been kind of like the entrepreneur of like almost every
Yep.
developing business.
The
So we
'90s.
you can't just ignore that, and you don't want to ignore that. Otherwise
Yeah.
you will have a huge part of your economy that plummets. So embrace it, learn how to kind of work with it, and you definitely can grow. Obviously, sex isn't everything, right? And so on these pages, it's not
But it
everything
sells.
either, but it is sex, and humans love sex. I mean, look at all the freaking kids that we got, that we can't take care of. So it's just it is what it is. But like when people realize that they can make money on the internet for that for YouTube, which what we trying to do, right? For podcasting, for just for talking, because humans like entertainment, and
Hmm.
that's what we're doing. We're providing entertainment, and so when other companies now that are like bricks and mortar, retail, also retail. Let's talk about retail for a little bit, just a little bit, because I don't know how it is in America anymore, but in France, for example, they don't do retail very well. Like, you know,
It's
um, they every store has the same thing, and I'm just like, I'll just get it online,
yeah. So here, there's been okay. So there's been a lot of different things going on with that. Like, yeah, exactly. We have like these abandoned shopping malls, just
Yeah.
vacant. You like
Mm-hmm.
you go into like you know, well, except for I'll say here in where I'm at,
Yeah.
South Center,
Okay. Yeah.
there's still a lot of people there.
Right. Because South Center is South Center, though. Yeah. Because there's a lot of there's that huge mall, the Westfield Mall. I think it's still Westfield, right? And then
Yeah,
there's a couple malls there, though, aren't there? If I'm not mistaken,
yeah,
or
like this, like I'll say this, the super mall that was down there in Auburn,
okay, yeah.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of changed a little. Not as many people, but it's still thriving.
Okay.
But but a lot around the country,
Yeah.
you know, you have all these vacant, empty malls, or they're trying to do things like, like add swim classes or wall climbing things, things just for people to come to the mall in general.
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm.
um, so they're changing how they're utilizing these malls now,
Right.
and because you know stores like J.C. Penney and friggin' Marshalls, not Marshalls. Oh, I can't think of the name of it now. It went out of business. They
Sears?
just they just
No.
fell out of business.
Did Sears go out?
Was it
No.
Sears?
You said I know J.C.
No.
Penney and Sears. In my mind, I don't know if this is the case, but in my mind, they were rivals. But I don't know if that's the
Yeah,
situation.
but no, yeah, they are. They were J.C. Penney's, Sears, and there was another store. They pulled people to the store,
Right. Okay.
you
To the
know,
mall.
and to the mall, to the
Right. Yeah.
store.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it though. I got
But
you.
they pull people to the mall, to these
Yeah.
malls, and they're falling out of business, or people are buying online,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, then you have all these freaking organized crime where you got people coming into like Louis Vuitton and grabbing like 130 persons and just running out the door.
Is that a
You know
thing?
that is a thing. You have
Oh
like
my
they
goodness.
yeah,
Okay.
like 7 or 8 people will come into the store and just
Mm-hmm.
grab stuff and just run out the door.
Oh shoot. They need to
So,
step up their security. I mean,
but what can they do? They can't. They already tell the employees, do not go after these people.
right.
You
Well,
know
yeah, because you
because
don't want them getting shot.
yeah, like I watched the news video where this lady got fired because she opposed what these thieves are doing. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, what are you doing? Stop!" or something like that, right? She
Yeah.
verbally opposed, so they
Mm-hmm.
fired her.
And
But
this is how you this is how you lose employees,
yeah,
or like employee loyalty. But
yeah,
granted, if I was her,
safe.
I
You got
just yeah, I wouldn't have said any. I mean, I'd
yeah,
be like, I probably would have said something, but I definitely wouldn't have tried to stop them because I'd be like, "Look, it ain't my. And this is the thing, like employees have, it's dangerous, first of all, right? But then
right
also, you don't feel like employees kind of feel kind of attached to their company until they don't.
to their companies, right?
Yeah, and so they want to feel like they are kind of defending it or something like that. But at the end of the day, nah, you should not be defending it. They will not defend you. Case in
Or
point, I mean, if this is the situation, they just fired her for saying something. So yeah,
Well, it's because it wasn't so much as that. It's that, like, the employees have to keep in mind that there are other people in this in the store,
Yeah.
and if you try to intervene
Mm-hmm.
and you're untrained,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
other people can get hurt.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
You know,
But if she's
yeah,
just
yeah,
saying something, that's not, in my opinion, a
I know,
fireable
I agree.
offense. That's
Yeah,
something that
they
you
fired her.
train somebody on. So, especially if they're a good employee, like I mean, if they're a good employee, if they've been there for a while, be like, look, yeah, we don't do that. We understand that you feel kind of this attachment to the company, which we love and we want to foster, but it's dangerous. And that was my first point. It's dangerous. You don't
But
you
you're
don't have the
fired now,
training for
so
it, huh?
thank you.
Say
Like,
say again.
like, yeah, we appreciate what you did, but you're fired now. Thank you for your
Yeah,
support.
yeah,
I
exactly.
appreciate.
But then, and the thing is, that's going to jade her for the next company. Like, if the next company is like, oh yeah, 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 why didn't you say anything? Nah, f you. Yeah, like last job I
I
got,
mean,
I was fired because I said something. I ain't saying nothing to y'all. Nope. Y'all
I
want to
mean,
steal something? Steal away.
to yeah, but to be honest, like, okay, so there was another story that I watched where this guy had been stealing from this store for quite a while. He's been and this lady, I guess, I don't know what she was doing, what she was thinking, but she got in her car and this guy escaped on a bicycle and she like chased him down in her car
I
and
would
like
not.
accidentally hit him
And
on
then
his
you can get sued
bicycle
for that.
and then yelled at him and saying, "Why are you
It ain't that.
stealing? Why are you
Yeah.
stealing?" And they fired
Yeah, but it wasn't all that serious
so
either. She just went above.
yeah, I mean, I think she was just she was just like you said, like people they attach themselves to these businesses and
Yeah.
it's like, hey, why are you coming to my house and
Right.
stealing over and over and over?
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
not her
to the point where I'm
business.
gonna
I
chase you
mean,
down in my car and hit you on your
also,
bicycle.
did she say something to them if she knew that they were like, she was the person,
Yeah,
like, if she had said something
she's like,
and
why
the
do you?
business didn't do anything, don't say nothing. This is for all of you
Oh,
listeners out there. Listen, that is the business's job, okay? If they're not protecting, I mean, their merchandise, it's their merchandise. If they're not protecting their merchandise, whatever, you
yeah.
don't need to say nothing. You are not trained for it. You're not expected to do anything, and it's dangerous to try. Don't.
Stop acting like you're expendable.
Exactly. Yeah, no, just be like, listen, hands up. Like, okay, you take the money if you want to. You take the whatever. I don't care. Like, that's not my job. So,
Yeah,
and I hate to be, I really don't like that term. It's not my job sort of thing. But in
but it
these types of
technically isn't.
situations, it is definitely not your job. You're not trained for it, and it's dangerous. Because people are crazy, especially in the U.S. So, listen, that's all we got time
Especially in the
for
U.S.
today in our business corner. We want to know what y'all's thoughts are on why there's like the business shortage, and if you feel like that is going to be ongoing or what. We'll put a question in the Spotify, and you can respond to that, or just leave us a comment. We are unofficially opinionated, and we are on all the socials. We're on TikTok, um, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all under the
All the
same name,
things.
unofficially. All the things exactly under unofficially opinionated. Want to thank Tim. Tim, thank you for the thumbnails and the image. The how's it Chris put it? He does it so eloquently. The imagery and all this other
The
stuff.
artwork.
Artwork. Thank you. Yes. And then Chris is our normal moderator, but who couldn't join us today. But yeah, thank you for listening. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe where those are applicable. All right. And we will talk to you later. Ciao.